Hello everybody and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to this episode or to the next episode of the Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening series. My name is Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be your game master tonight. And as you can see, I am joined by one of our players from the long-running campaign. Talia, introduce yourself and your character, please.
Hi, my name is Talia, she, her pronouns. I am playing Hiira Castillo, our fate-touched, fiend-fallen paladin? Look, she's had a growth journey. She is doing her best. She is trying very hard on this be a better person kick, and all of her past seems to be converging upon the town, which, not good vibes for her or her kid, so yeah. But yeah, she's a paladin. She's a redemption paladin. She is surrounded by a bunch of very capable, very supportive idiots who are finally starting to work together. It's nice.
It's nice. There's some camaraderie being built. But before we dive into more of that and find out what Hiira's up to, we have some sponsors and supporters that we'd like to thank. Our sponsor for tonight is Phoenix Dice. You can go to their website, phoenixdice.com, to get yourself some clickety-clack math rocks, including some limited edition roll-together dice. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER, all caps at checkout, you can get 25% off of your purchase. We're also proud to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. If you type in exclamation point code into chat right now, you can get yourself a code for a free Electrum chest that you can use to power up your heroes and all of that sort of stuff in the game. And that's available on all forms of platform as far as I'm aware. We are also proud to be supported and support Michael Dobson's character art, which all of the artwork, you can see here is lovely artwork in the box next to Talia. That was made by Mike. If you'd like to see your own D&D characters or other TTRPG characters done in that same art style, follow Mike on Instagram and reach out. Massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join in from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom for various reasons, by following all of the links in the chat or in the description below. Speaking of the description below, if you are watching this on YouTube, please do consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and commenting down below. It helps the algorithm let us know what you like, so we know what to make more of for you. And I think with that, we're going to go to the title sequence. Where this adventure takes place is during the downtime period that each of our players have. There's a 7-day period between where we last saw them as a group and when they go off to do their various different jobs for Solomon. The party is being split down into 2 groups. We've got Hiira, Elodie, and Bram heading off to an island called Marley's Rest to gather some items there that Solomon needs, or that the group need, in order to stop Kimdak from opening the temple at the top of the mountains. And Perry, Lucian, and Udric have been given a mission within Merkstead itself to do with Perry's missing journals that Kimdak doesn't have hold of. All that set aside, it's just me and Hiira at the moment, so it makes perfect sense that we go over what Hiira is getting up to during this 7-day period. What things did you want to do with Hiira before you leave Merkstead for a week, 2 weeks? Because it's a week to get to Marley's resting in a week back, so you'll be gone for 2 weeks in total, plus whatever happens when you're there.
Pick up her weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure preparations. Talk to Tally about Sunny, because he's not sure whether it's safe to keep Sunny here, and she's gone, whether she should take Sunny with her. And she just needs advice from someone about what to do, what she should be doing with her kid for the sake, because she's happy to go and just cut her along, but the road is also dangerous and we don't know where we're going to, whereas this is established. And the dangers seem to have died down, but we don't know. And I know that energy said, don't look at the amulet without me, let's go do it together, but, maybe a little bit of just prep stuff. So she's not as smart in that way like energy is, so she wants to have the right questions and make sure she's got the right vibe of what she's doing, if it can be done. And just a lot of just organizing. Armies fail because their quartermasters weren't supplied. It's all everything is to do with the logistics.
Yeah. Well, picking up your weapon is something that you do closer towards the end of the 7 days. Ingrid, the blacksmith, said that it would take about a week for them to be ready, so that would be like the last thing you'd do. Conversation with Tally is plenty easy enough to do. You can have that at any point. Tally, you would find either in the lower area, the downstairs area of the Rusty Pirate, or she will be up in Lilla's room, because Lilla is still currently in some sort of a coma, which the Dragonkin are calling slumber, which is something that only affects dragons and Dragonkin.
Lilla.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Tally, you can go see Tally and tell you, hi Hiira, are you doing okay? Can I help you with anything?
I think I just needed some advice.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I can help you, I certainly will. What's wrong? You look really. I can't think of what the word is. Conflicted. Is everything okay?
When Lilla was so little, were you... What did you do with her? What did you do with you?
I see. Okay. Parenting question, right. Well, when I started adventuring, quite young, I went on that one adventure that we all know about. My first one was the one where Perry, unfortunately, was can't even say it. It's just a horrible thought. And then I didn't really do I didn't really go on many adventures after that. I took more of a quartermaster / reception role at my dad's, at the mercenary company. The previous quartermaster and receptionist, both of them had decided to leave at that point, so the roles needed filling, and I was able to fill both roles. So when it came to Luca and myself having Lilla, I was basically a stay-at-home mum, but I was also working at the same time because we lived in the mercenary company. So Lilla was always at the reception desk with me. I took her everywhere. She was a member of the guild before she was even born. Why'd you ask?
I have to, both in making sure to delay the ritual and to pick up some things, I need to go. And then I don't know whether to take Sunny with me, because there's still danger here. And with her actual mum being held captive. I've told you this. I did.
Does Sunny know that?
No.
Right, so that's something to keep. I mean, that's pretty heavy for any child to have to deal with. So it's probably a good thing to not tell Sunny. But I mean,
Sunny saw her die. I don't want to tell her until I know whether or not she can actually be rescued.
That's understandable. And I mean, if you've ever questioned your ability to parent, I know you don't have to worry about it. What you've done, what you're doing there, if Sunny was to find out, Sunny might hold it against you for a little while, but in the long run, she'll forgive you. You're doing it to protect her, and that shows a sign of great parenting. So don't ever have a feeling that you're not good enough. From the year that we've spent together, with you being at the mercenary company, I've seen you come on leaps and bounds. You were a bit rigid to start with, yes. I mean, I think we can both agree that, but you didn't. This is the first time you've come to me asking for advice. You've learned everything else on your own. So, and it's been an absolute joy watching you sort of develop in this way. And if you don't mind me saying, softening a little bit. Sunny's definitely had a positive impact on you, and you've had a positive impact on her.
She's a good kid, but the world is an awful place, and I want her to be as soft as she can be while she can, because I don't know if it'll last.
Yeah, when they hit a certain age, that's when it all sort of goes downhill and they start the teenage years, as they like to call them. But I mean, in terms of whether to take Sunny out of Merkstead or not with you, we don't know how dangerous this island's going to be. Father spoke of some people that he knew living there, but he's lost contact with them recently, so we don't know if they're safe or not. And then you're sailing up there, so there's the constant threat of drowners attacking. So if you're asking for my advice would be to not take Sunny with you. Sunny will be safe here. There's plenty of us around that are not going. Udric, Perry, and Lucian, from what I've been told, are staying in Merkstead as well. So you've got my father and me here, and Lila when she wakes up, and then the other members of, and she just looks around just to make sure there's no other people in the bar area. We've got the other sparrows here as well. So Sunny's well looked after. I understand your worries.
I would. If something happened to her and I wasn't here, if something will happen to her and I'd taken her away, if something happens to me and I become another person that just leaves her.
I know she's only little. She's 6. I know that. But I think before you leave, I think have a conversation with her. Children are a lot more intuitive than what you think. And if she feels or sees that you're conflicted like I can, that's going to make her worry. So talk to her and see ask what she wants. I mean, at the end of the day, you have final say because you're her parent, but it doesn't hurt to take her opinion into account as well.
She's got people on both sides who would... she's got you. She likes others.
You know that I see her like a daughter, and I will protect her like she's my own as well. So she'll be safe. She's got a big sister in Lilla when she wakes up. But, you know. But at the end of the day, the decision is yours. You asked for my advice and I gave it.
That's fair. Can I ask a second question?
Of course you can.
How do you actually talk to people? Because I asked you before and you said just open up and be yourself. And I started doing that. And I think Balm is mostly confused. Elodie is horrified by everything that comes out of my mouth now. And I am traveling with them.
It's one thing to open up. And that's a good start to open up. But you also need to listen to them as well. Learn more about them and what things they're going through at the moment. And offer up advice to them about what's going on, if you have the advice, or just be an ear for them to talk to and listen. They'll don't always have to speak. It's just being there and being present and showing support that, you know, makes a group, makes a team, makes a family, makes friends.
Until very recently, I have had no idea what any of those are.
As I said, you're learning very quickly, so you'll be fine. You got this.
I don't know how you do this.
Lots of
I
practice.
don't like this being a person thing. It's too much.
It sucks sometimes, but there are definitely benefits to it. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, you don't get flogged for hugging. Hug.
Yep, goes in, gives you a hug, and then she begins to make her way. Was there anything else? I'm going to go up and check on Lilla. Sunny's at school at the moment, but I believe Johanna's bringing her back. So I've organised for Johanna to do the drop off and pick up just until Lilla wakes up. So, and Johanna's pretty responsible and lives here, so it's helpful.
The teenager.
Yes.
Yes. Be around, show an interest, don't terrify me. I can do this.
You got this. And she begins making her way up the stairs. You're just shaking her head as she walks up. She didn't notice because she walked up.
I think at the moment he is just a little bit at a loss. Just, not entirely sure. Everyone else is, researching or prepping or having emotional conversations with exes. Or having non-conversations with potential, not yet, exes.
This is very true.
So, I think our options are quite either study the maps, do some training, or try and do a little bit of arcane research on her own.
Yeah. More than welcome to do that. Now, at the point of where we are now, it's been a few days since we last saw Hiira. And I forgot to mention at the beginning that some stuff happened the last time we saw Hiira. Hiira took part in the fighting pits and had a big fight with a person that was revealed to be Bram's mother. Now, what happened in that encounter is only known to Bram's mother and to Hiira, but to everybody else who was watching from the outside, there was a large explosion of fire that came from Bram's mother that propelled you backwards in the arena, and you got not hurt because it was fire, but you were taken off into the sort of cleric area to be seen to, which is why, to sort of explain why you weren't in that last session.
And to
But
be fair, I killed her as well.
to be fair, but there was a conversation that was had, or there is a phrase that Bram's mother repeats to you, that said to you, that repeats in your mind over and over again. As you had dealt that, what you thought was the final blow to her, and she used her orcish features to stay up on one hit point, she sort of leant into you and she went, "War is here," before laughing and then igniting that flame down, causing an eruption. Now, with the recent things that you've learned about your brother, the War Master, the previous War Master, Oris, and his connection to Bram's mother, you're intelligent enough and saw it in her armor, which was under a big cloak, that she is now the Horseman of War. But she fled, or I wouldn't say she fled because she's the badass of war. She left the arena before Bram could have a conversation with her.
Retreated. Tactically retreated is what it's called.
Tactically retreated, yes. She just was like, "Nope, I'm out," and left. And you were let out of the infirmary at the pits pretty soon after. The thing that was damaged the most was your armor. That got repaired pretty quick. So, yeah, just to quickly go over that, because I completely forgot to mention that had happened. So that's now happened. We're now a couple of days later. And yeah. So you said you wanted to do some research on a particular item that you have stowed away in your pocket currently.
Yeah. Yes. The Imperial Amulet that grants powers and connection. Because here's the thing. Hiira has broken ranks with the other horsemen and siblings. Knows. But she's still a very loyal citizen of the Imperium. She thinks it can be done better, but she is still a citizen. Yeah. And she wants to know if there's a way to... Has the power from the Emperor been corrupted? She's never actually... Says she can't remember meeting them. It was always the War Master who had that more direct connection. Who's the actual one making those decisions? Yeah. But even if the one who's causing harm to the citizens is still the Emperor, emperors change, whether in terms of temperament or actuality. She is not exploring that line of thought. That's just kind of where it ends, and then it trails off. But the people remain, and she has first and foremost always been a thing for people, because the other aspects of the Horsemen have very specific meanings of destruction. But death can also just be change. It can be a permanent, lasting change, but it doesn't have to be. And she's always tried to find her own moral line in that. So she can go and find a way to go back to her country and restore hope to her people and change their lives for the better. It also then trails off with that thought.
Yeah.
It's not super concrete right now.
So the thing that I'm hearing from that is that you miss power on top of everything else, but there seems to be an underlying missing of what you once had?
I miss being able to help people in more concrete ways. She doesn't miss the way that her power was used to hurt people, but she missed being able to help. And right now, she's just a sword for hire, quite frankly, trying to do her best.
And as these, would you be in your room at this point thinking of these things?
Yes, Sunny's at school, no one else comes in.
Yeah. So as you're thinking these things and sort of moving, sort of sifting past the things that you don't want to think about, like the emperors can be replaced, the darkness of the power, the ability to help people is what you're like focusing on, being able to help your country. You feel something vibrate within your pouch that you've stored it in, and a slight purple light begins to emit out of your pouch. What would you like to do?
Take a moment, because she mentioned looking at it to Eldine. Eldine was like, don't look at it without me. And she went, okay. And then she has a look.
And pull it out of your bag, place it down and unwrap it, and you can see the sort of pendant is there. It's almost like a 3D 7-pointed star. And in the center of it, there is a small purple light that is sort of pulsing like a heartbeat. And every time it pulses, it lets out a little bit of extra light that is what was shining through your pouch. From where a piece of the aether had touched it previously, it seems to have reignited. There's still that crack in it. And it's got like a little humming noise coming from it as well that feels or sounds distorted and broken in a way. It sounds familiar to you, but also sounds alien.
Just gonna I try and intuit why it may have started glowing, what it's responding to, if it's anything that might be proximate in the room or something to do with Hiira.
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana check.
Cool. I'm so good. I'm
so good at Arcana.
So good at Arcana. Oh, I'm good. That is a 16.
16. So you have a feeling that this set off, or this started, because it's been dormant since, other than when you grabbed hold of it and got pulled into that sort of dream state previously. It's been pretty dormant until you started thinking about the Empire, or the Imperium, sorry, and your people and what you used to do. Then it started reacting. And it's still humming slightly. Although now that your thoughts are more directed towards that, it's dimmed down a little bit.
I would like to think about what Hiira wants for the Empire, but it's kind of trying to bring both sides of her together. So thinking about the protection that was given to Ram by his parents, the love and dedication that Tali gives to Lila, the fact that Hiira would do anything for Sunny, and that her parents quite literally, I suppose, just died for her. That kind of love and devotion to make things safe and better and cared for. And that's what she wants for her people. Yeah. For them to not be hurt or oppressed or scared or live under terrible systems that she is. I mean, she thinks it's slowly, but other people think, Tally thinks it's quickly. Learn that maybe not great for people to live like that.
You think about that, the positives, the things that Hiira now wants, and the glow of the amulet begins to get brighter. And it begins to take on less of a aether purple colour that we're used to seeing with all of the aether things that we've experienced so far in the campaign. It begins to lighten into more of a pink colour. But as you're thinking these things and looking at it, you can see that there is some sort of a fight happening within the amulet. The purple and the pink are fighting against each other. And eventually the purple begins to overtake the pink. But there is a little bit of pink in the middle now, and it's just sort of surviving in amongst this purple light.
The strength to make this care happen, but she's trying to hold on to the fact that you need compassion for it to work as well.
Which is something that you've been learning over the past year.
Woo! Emotional growth.
Yay! Now, do you touch the amulet in any way?
Yes, apparently.
So you instinctively reach out and just touch it with your finger. And as your finger touches one of the corner part, one of like the star pointed parts of it, the light, the purple, I'm doing this down here when you can't see on camera. The sort of light begins to almost like takes on sort of like a liquid look to it, and sort of like a lava lamp, and begins pulling towards where you've touched it with your finger. And as it effectively touches your finger, but through the thin pendant like glass that there is, or metal, you feel a slight surge of energy through your finger before it stops. And for a second, you could have sworn that the room went blurry before everything goes back to normal, and the light pulls away from your finger and just floats in the middle again. Grab hold of the amulet. Nothing seems to happen. The light just seems to hold in the middle, and it doesn't seem to do anything. Can you make me a perception check, please?
Doing one in a row for you. Well, that's not, maybe not this dice anymore. 13.
13's not too bad. You begin to smell something. A smell of burning. And then you can see smoke is beginning to billow in underneath your door. And as you look down at where you got hold of the amulet, you notice that your armor is different. It is completely black with purple inlays going through it. And next to you is a large scythe.
Okay. Cool. Fire? I don't have water. Nope, I have nothing. Okay, gonna just... Ooh, they say that if there's a fire from the other side, you don't want to put something oxygen gonna go to the sink,
Yeah, there's a sink in here. Yeah, there's plumbing.
wet a blanket, and then pick up this random side prop and just Perry leave it here, and then go running in, because if this place is on fire again, this is not great.
You open the so you're opening the door to get into the hallway. Yeah.
I think. And she's not even for herself, but if there is a fire, people have already died and become these gravely injured in recent events. That means that maybe they're back again in our new safe haven. So
you open the door and step into the hallway, and as you open the door, for some reason there isn't. As you said, you know that if you were to do that, there'd be like a pop, but there wasn't, which is strange. But as you step into the hallway, you look around, there is fire everywhere. This entire tavern is alight. And as you instinctively look down towards where Lilla and Tally's room is, that room is completely engulfed in flames. All of the rooms of all of your comrades the doors are open, there's fire just billowing out of all of them. The ceiling parts are beginning to cave in, the floor's starting to cave in. What would you like to do?
Lilla's unconscious, and Tally can take her away, but not that and run. So try and just cope with the flames and go make my way into that room, try and see if they're there like minutes ago.
The flames don't hurt you as you step in. You're not being hurt by any of this. None of it's affecting you, but you step into the room, there's nobody in there. There's no bodies in there either. Looks like it's completely empty. Or was completely empty before it was engulfed in flame.
Can I put my hand back in the fire again?
In the fire, yeah. You can feel it's hot, but it's not burning you. It's like you're immune.
Which is strange, because I'm not immune. I'm resistant. Very resistant, but I'm not immune.
As you put your hand in, strange black armor is still on you. And the scythe is in your hand, even though you didn't pick it up.
Binder.
And the medallion is gone.
Mirror.
You go to look in the mirror. And you see an old vision of yourself. Something that you were over a year ago in terms of campaign time. It's not Hiira looking back at you. It's Vizania looking back at you. That cracked pendant is around your neck. There's something slightly different about you, though, to how you were before. You're slightly taller, not by much. Probably the really imposing high heels you're wearing. And your armor looks a lot more sinister than what it did before. And your horns have grown and extended past the size that they were before, instead of them being more, because they're sort of like, they curl a little bit, don't you, your horns?
Yeah.
They've straightened and they're more flowing down, sort of following the shape of your head down your back, down the back of your head into a point, bit like hair does. And your hair is sort of tied and plaited down one side, wrapped round, and it's got purple streaks going through your hair, and your eyes are glowing bright purple.
Oh. Isn't this nice?
You shake your head and open your eyes, and you can see Hiira stood in the mirror.
Guys, I'm going to the street. I want to go find Elodie would be in Goggle Springs, or Greta, someone who knows how things work.
You make your way down the stairs, and as you make your way down the stairs into the tavern proper, you see a sight that you didn't think you'd see. You can see the bodies of the two owners of the tavern sprawled out all over on the floor. They weren't killed very nicely. It's a bit of a butcher's scene. We won't go into any more detail on that, but they are lying dead on the floor. The wounds look like they were carved by a scythe. And as you go to step into the street of Merkstead, you can see that Merkstead is on fire. And there are soldiers running around wearing the Imperium symbol, the Imperium emblem. There are warships docked and in the bay. And just as you step outside, you hear someone shout, "Traitor!" And you hear a gunshot as something pings off of your armor. And as you turn to look at where the shot come from, you can see a very disgruntled Elodie, Perry, also wielding a scythe. And who was the other person that I had? And Lilla is there as well, all looking at you, fighting off some of the guards. Around them, you can see the dead bodies of Udric, Lucian, and Bram, and Tally. Can I get you to roll initiative, please?
Oh, dear God in heaven.
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, my lord. Okay, that balanced out. So what did you roll, Vizania?
I think Vizania is still dealing with Hiira in the back of her mind, being highly stressed out and honestly screaming about the situation. So Vizania rolled a 6.
Okay, everybody else rolled higher than you.
Yeah, I know that.
Not by much.
Okay, Hiira doesn't want to fight, so she's holding Vizania back.
Yeah, she is resisting, but unfortunately, these people don't seem to care about that and are actively trying to hurt you. The first person that is going to go is going to be Perry. So Perry is the one who is going to start this fight off, and wielding their scythe, they are going to charge towards you. Your scythe dwarfs the size of their one. Your one is like one of those proper anime overcompensating sized scythes that you can swing around with ease, whereas theirs is it's still quite large, but is more manageable. And they just run at you. You watch as this black ichor fills their eyes and tears begin to fall down as they go to swing at you. It's the rage that you're used to seeing. But yeah, they roll a 12 to hit you.
No.
No, they just slide in. You just hold the scythe there, and it just clashes in. They almost bounce off of it as it moves to Elodie's turn. Elodie seems to down a potion, clocks the pistol again, turns it back to you, and fires again at you. With a much, I rolled the exact same roll, but it's a 14 to hit you.
No.
It just bounces off your armor. You're not even dodging these things. You're just taking the hits. And then
you call yourself the heroes of this place. Pathetic.
And then Lilla is the one that comes in next, as Lilla charges towards you, almost with a spark of lightning flashing behind her, as she slashes at you for a... Oh, that's better. That is a 21 to hit.
Yes.
You are going to take 6 points of slashing damage and 4 points of lightning damage. However, you seem to be resistant to the slashing damage. So you take 3. 3 slashing, 4 lightning.
I'd like to Hellish Rebuke her for the fun of it.
Yep, you can Hellish Rebuke if you'd like to. Lila looks pretty injured, to be fair.
Yes, it needs to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. She is kind of dexy. Not when she rolls a 4, she's not. So she rolled a 10.
Cool. Just the flames that are already on me just leap back at her. 12 points of fire damage.
Okay, 12 points of fire damage. Is this fire just sort of leaps over you and just engulfs Lila as she's struck at your cheek and cause you to bleed? The flames just engulf her and you hear her scream in agony, and what is left is a charred corpse as she just falls to the floor. She didn't have many hit points left. Elodie looks on in horror as Perry begins to get ready for another round, as it's now your turn.
So, very much like to do. I'd like to go and cast Hex on Perry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying so very hard. And then I am going to attack her.
Go for it. Make me 2 attack rolls.
Yes. Oh, that is definitely going to hit. That's a 29.
Yeah, that hits.
Ooh. Is cocked. Oh, okay. That is a 28.
To hit or damage?
To hit. So I've just done them both. So.
Oh yeah, that's fine. They both hit.
Yeah.
High level character.
I know, baby hurts. Ah, is a. Ooh. Oh, those are both. The first one is a critical.
Okay.
As well. It's a roll of 19.
Oh, okay. Yep. So that is roll double damage on whatever it is you pump into it, and then take the weapon max and add that to it. Going by homebrew rules.
The hex is like 5 plus, so 24, 29 points.
Okay, well, luckily for Perry, they do half that damage because they're raging, so they're just still alive. Is that from both attacks, or is that just from one?
That's just from the first one.
They're barely standing from that first strike as you basically go, that's a scythe, this is a scythe, and you slash down. They go to block it. The scythes clash, but the size of your one, the sort of end part of the scythe embeds itself into Perry's shoulder and sinks and gains purchase in the top of her shoulder blade, as you can now roll the second amount of damage.
Oh, that one's 18 points
18. As you
damage.
Just smirk and then just pull down. The Perry's scythe cracks and snaps as you cleave Perry clean in half, and they fall to the floor in 2 separate halves. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Yes, baby.
As you look towards Elodie.
Torture my brain. Oh, that's a nat 1.
Nat 1. Okay, so you feel a shimmer or a shake within your body, and Hiira is stood there you've got blood on your hands, Perry and Lila's corpses in front of you, and Elodie cocking a gun with a confidence on her face but fear in her eyes as you can tell that she's taken the Solarimus potion as she's loading another pistol, and her hand shakes as she points it towards you. But you are Hiira at the minute.
What? No, 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 no. Melody, Salamas, whoever you are.
What? Why have you done this? Traitor, we were your friends. Why did you... Why?
I don't know. This is not... I went to my room, Sunny's room, and next thing I know, everything's on fire, and I am who I was, not who I am now. You were supposed to kill me before this happened. You were supposed to kill me before this.
I don't... You're evil. Can you make me a perception check, please? You led the Empire to us.
Perception is 21.
As you're having this conversation with Elodie, you just spot just over Elodie's shoulder on the left, towards where the ramp is that leads up to the mercenary company, a hooded figure looking down at you with a really long, lanky, long limbs, hooded robes over them, big, sinister grin on their face, and they just gesture for you to come towards them. And you need to make another wisdom saving throw, please.
This dice again. Gee. 17.
17. You're able to resist Vesania's pull, and you stay as Hiira.
I tell you what, I'm using thematic dice for different choices, and it's going interestingly. It's been 6 seconds. I'm throwing some Eldritch Blasts at that figure, and I am just... going to grab Elodie and run away from wherever this is.
Make me some Eldritch Blast attacks, please. You're still using your level 14 stats, even though you are Hiira.
Dramatic choices. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Nice.
That's 12. That is 22. So
okay,
two of them, one's a crit.
Yeah, so maximize that one dice and then roll again, please.
$17 on the crit.
Yeah.
And 11 on the second one.
Okay, you watch as these two blasts. The first one hits, the one that misses, should I say, hits into this cloaked figure and seems to just dissipate before contact. The other two seem to catch them by surprise. One hits in the shoulder and the other one hits in the leg. They take damage from it. Doesn't look to be as much as you thought it was, but they stand there and they just still gesture towards you to come towards them. And you run and you grab Elodie's hand and, no, you're not taking me with you. Get off of me. Move.
I'm just gonna... I know how strong Elodie is. I'm physically just gonna cut her.
Yeah, you just pull Elodie along and drag her with you. You have to move over the bodies of Tally, Bram, Udric, and Lucian in order to get to Elodie and pull, and you can see that it looks like they've been cut down again by a large scythe, which you're still holding in your hand. You can't seem to let go of it. You let go of it and it drops to the floor, and then you begin running and it's suddenly in your hand again.
I want to find somewhere that I... No, his next to going, Elodie. Someone's any Elodie.
What?
You will die. I need you to run, to go find allies. Come back when it's quiet, sneak people out. You need to leave, because if not, no, everything will not. You need to make it worth it, and it will never be. I don't know what. If there's such a thing as other worlds or time dilations, find out, because I did not mean. This is either not me or something very terrible happened. But while I'm still in control, I need you to leave. Rescue yourself, save yourself, and then come back and raise everything to the ground. But you cannot do it now. You will not survive.
Do you let them go? You watch as they turn. Elodie looks towards you. You can see uncertainty in their eyes, and they turn and they begin running towards where the Church of Balance is. So they're making their way up to the 3rd level of the town. And as you stand back up, you just feel this breath go down your spine. The cloaked figure is no longer stood over where the pathway up to the mercenaries company is. They are stood directly behind you. Oh, sister.
Asshole, have you not heard of personal from space?
And have you not heard that you shouldn't play with your food? And you watch as he raises his finger up, sickly green energy fires out.
Can I anything react?
Yeah, you can try and push off his aim if you'd like to. Yeah, make me an attack roll.
Yeah, I think good. I'm trying to cut his throat. 28.
28. So you nudge him in. He's quite tall. You're on your knees getting up at the moment, so you can kind of guess at the sort of height you're at the minute. You just elbow into in the area, and he goes, and you watch his finger just shifts slightly, and this sickly green being fires out of it. It does still catch Elodie, but instead of it being a direct hit in the back of her back, it hits her shoulder, and you watch as part of the clothing that she was wearing and part of her arm just disintegrate, and she just collapses to the floor, turns round and sees the pair of you, and gets up, holds her arm, and then carries on running up. But you watch as her arm does begin to disintegrate away, and eventually that's dust, but she's just running one-armed away.
Haven't you heard of trying to... Okay, so Hiira is trying to pull a Visania right now. Very. You useless piece of trash. Haven't you heard of uncovering the warren? Find out where the nest... You let one mouse go, but you keep tabs on it. And then you find out where the warren is.
Sister, it is cute that you think that acting in one way does not mean that means that you have completely forgotten your previous nature. You might be acting like Hiira at the moment, but you will always be Vesania. You cannot fool me, sister. You are not two in one body. You are one person trying to be different, and you are failing at it. Look at this. This is all a concoction.
I just knee him in the crotch again.
He blocks it this time. He just catches your foot and pushes it away. Sister, you can't. Lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice.
Across the ear while he's distracted.
You can keep doing this as much as you want. This isn't actually doing any damage to me, so.
No, but it's cathartic.
This is true. I like the place you've brought me to.
I would like to spend the next 10 to 15 minutes of dream sequence of whatever's going on here, essentially just pummeling the shit out of my...
Yep, you pummel the shit out of him. You hit him in his area a few more times and realise that it actually has no effect on him. and maybe he purposefully let you hit him to sort of shoot off his beam sort of thing. Are you quite done? Have you got it all out of your system?
No. I mean, everyone's distracted and you're no longer where we were, so you know.
Well, I mean, I am still where we were. It's just I've been pulled into here with you. You activated the medallion again, and I have to say, this is quite a lovely view that I'm seeing here. It's a vision of what's to come, perhaps, if you were to accept who you are and rejoin us, we could do all of this together. Oh, I think it's quite fun. I like seeing all of your friends on the floor dead. It's rather entertaining. Your friends.
Welcome. Oh, thank you for proving a theory for me. Why would I bring you? You don't even like you.
We're connected, sister. We are the two remaining horsemen. At least of our particular circle, as it were. Oris obviously died when he was trying to chase you down, and I'm guessing...
Tell me more. How did he die? Did he die painfully?
I don't know, you were there, I weren't.
Oh. He died painfully.
But, you know, I mean, Feldra's not here, so she's probably dead as well. So it's a shame. At least I have new toys to play with now that I'm the War Master. But this is a very interesting... What?
Why are you like this?
Oh, there's lots of reasons why I am the way I am, sister. If we wanted to explore that, we also need to explore why you are the way you are. How does a trip down memory lane sound? Are you up for it? I'm not giving you a choice in a minute. And he swirls his hand, and you both sort of get engulfed in purple.
Let me have... I'm just going to find a flask on this random dead body and just go, I am having this fake drink. I don't drink any of this stuff here. It's stupid and it makes no sense and it's over. I'm having this, and then you can pull me in. Because I don't actually know what it tastes like. It doesn't taste like anything. Fine.
Nothing in there. But you sort of get pulled away. And the next thing that you see is lots and lots and lots of buildings. Lots of smoke, lots of steam. The sound of machinery constantly working, constantly humming and churning. Smell of pollution all around you. Stale smell that's always consistent around. Everything looks slightly bigger to you at the moment as you appear in the city of Katanok, which is the capital of the Imperium. Pretty much the only location in the Imperium. Mortigan, who is the figure that the cloaked figure stood next to you in Merkstead, is still stood next to you and is still as big and as cloaked as what they were, but you're smaller. Could you describe what a younger Vesania looks like, please?
So, I mean, what is the relationship between a child and an adult? She looks very... You can see the adult that she would become, but she is... She has the structure of a child who was cared for once, but she's, at this stage, kind of slightly malnourished, little skinny, quite pointy, covered in bruises, whether from other people or life in general. Her clothes are trying to have some semblance of neatness, but tatty around the edges, a bit cobbled together, barefoot. Nails a little bit raggedy. It's kind of clumped on one side, kind of like a slightly, I want to say both ashy and light, the same way that can get like kids' haircuts at that indeterminate age before it turns into adult hair.
Yeah.
Those are what she can see on herself from her own gaze. This is she's very cold, and the hunger is a pit in her stomach.
And as you're on the streets of the city, hunger settling in, you can see that you're in one of the very many marketplaces that there are located around. There's food and knickknacks being sold, and you can see a plethora of different people around who are trading with the stall makers, and you can see there's also Imperium guards that are walking around, seem to be keeping a vigilant look on things in the market, make sure there's no thieves or anything around. And a couple of them walk past you and give you an eye. They walk straight through Mortigan. Don't even notice he's there. Oh, that was interesting. Right, so let's find out a little more about you, shall we? How much of yourself do you remember before you became the Harbinger?
Escaped from the streets, brought into service, and I showed my worth. And selected. I fought for my place, but I tried to bring as many with me as could, because good people are good people and good resources are good resources. That's I don't know, Morty.
I think
I
there
was
might
a
be.
kid, I wasn't doing well.
I think there might be some black spots in your memory. Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
Be less gleeful about it.
Oh, I can't help it. It's just so good to see you suffer after everything that you've done, abandoning us, leaving us to fight on our own, so you could go gallivanting and be a sword for hire, be a parent. Oh, watching how
Wrong
you're
with
going.
that.
What?
She's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, children are gross.
You're gross.
This is true. I actually take that as a compliment, to be fair, but
Not
children.
gross. You're boring.
Boring? Oh, I'm anything but boring, but this isn't about me. We're not here to roast me. We're here to look at where little Visania came from, not Hiira. Oh, where did you get that name from?
Oh, right. Oh. Hira doesn't want to subsume herself, but she wants to sink a little into little Vess and try and work out what she, thinking. And Vess is currently thinking about how this market is laid out and what things she needs to discreetly knock over to start some people fighting so that she can go to a different stall, and while they're just go and pick some food up. She's apparently a planner right from the beginning.
I think the easiest target you can see is, like how in America they have those sort of like food stands on the corner of the street, and they do like hot dogs and stuff in them. There's like a really rudimentary one of those. So instead of it being like this big block where they cook it all in, it's also like framework and stuff. And you have assessed it and know that if you were to walk past and kick out the leg of one of the stalls where the meat is spinning on, that whole thing is going to collapse, and it's going to throw the sort of what do they call the batter and stuff onto another stool next to it, which is a cloth stool. So it's going to ruin all of those cloths. But you reckon that'll start a fight and cause a pretty big distraction if you were to do that? Go for it.
Okay. I think, yeah, within this, we're going to see how well Bess doesn't want to go and like ruin what livelihoods people have or cause too much of a ruckus. The people get actually punished, but she's so hungry. And if she can do this well enough, then maybe she can also grab a little extra for some of the other street kids.
Yeah. You can find a less intrusive way to cause a distraction. It just requires going to that same clothing stall and just loosening the ropes that hold the rolled up like carpets and things that are underneath it. You just loosen that up, and that would cause them to roll into the street, which isn't going to damage anybody else's products or anything like that. It's not going to damage the carpets, but it is going to cause a disruption because there's a lot of people walking around. So that's a big enough distraction without causing financial loss for anyone or harm.
Does that, then maybe she can sneak some meat and then be really helpful in getting everything back on and maybe get a reward.
Yeah.
For the problem that she caused, but hey.
Make me a sleight of hand check, please.
Super, she's so good at this. Ah, where's my... That is a 14.
14. Easy enough. You walk past. Does Visani have a tail at this point? Because I don't think Hiira does. Or is it something that you weren't born with at all? Because the Fiend Fallen of this world can be born with sort of any elements of a tiefling on their body. Because you're actually elven features, aren't you, with tiefling horns and stuff?
I think she's got a little nubbin of a tail. You know, it's not tail enough to be actually useful. But, you know, it works when she's happy. At the moment, it's down a trouser line.
And it's useful in this moment when you're short enough that your back end basically can get underneath the stool, and you can use your tail to sort of, because it's got a little point on it, and you can use that just to cut the little rope as you sort of shimmy past some people, make it look like you're trying to get out of their way, but in actual fact you're using it as a way to cut the rope. And as you move away from the stool, you watch as all the rugs begin to fall out, and people are like, "Oh, what's going on? I'm so sorry. Let me just. Oh, that's getting in the way." And you can use that as your distraction.
I'd like to fill my pockets with meat and nuts and whatever, like flowers and vegetables. Yeah, like there's like beans grow up. They can grow up on the sides of houses. I think it's like lots of like runner fruit. Like, so there's tomatoes and there's beans. It's just not things that take up a lot of ground space.
Yeah, you pick up enough and you begin running. And as you sort of meld into the crowd and disappear, you can hear people shouting, "My food's gone! Who's stolen my food? Guards, guards!" But you're not visible. You're out of there before anything else before you're caught, should I say. And as you run, you can see Mortigan is floating next to you. Sort of, he's moving like he's on an escalator, but he just seems to be following you around. It's like, oh, I wonder where you're going. And your body just instinctively moves because, yes, you are Hiira at the moment, but you're in a memory. You're in the mind of yourself. So it's already set to go on a predetermined path, and your body runs. You sort of dive into a graveyard and sort of hop over the different graves and things. You can see that the bodies are being dug out of the grave of some of these graves, and you can see that there are foundations for buildings being placed. There's not a lot of space in this city for things, so things that aren't important, like, or at least not important to the higher ups, like graves, are being removed so that houses can be put there, because overpopulation is a thing. But you carry on running, and eventually you get into... Sorry?
Started burning with, like, anyone who's fancy still gets to have their mausoleums for now, but anyone poor, anyone
poor just gets put into a... It's a bit bleak, but they get put into a mass grave, yeah. Which is then burnt, and then that's then dug over, or they're chucked into the sea. It just depends. Different things happen at different times have happened at different times in your life. The most important thing is that their souls are collected, because, as we've established, this Imperium runs on the souls of the dead. And as you continue running, you end up in the entire city looks like the slums, but you run into a really downtrodden part of the city. Buildings are completely dilapidated. Very few people live in them. Well, they squat in them, but not many people own them. And you run to a very ramshackled hut, probably big enough for maybe a bedroom and a basic wash area. And as you walk in, you can see a adult fiend-fallen man laying in bed, very pale of skin, look to you with a smile on his face, and he goes, "Oh, our daughter, it's good to see you." And that is where we are going to take a very quick break. We are going to be gone for about 10 minutes, so go fill your drinks up, and we shall see you in a moment. Goodbye.
Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We have had our short rest, and we are going to dive straight back into tonight's session. In the first half, Hiira had a conversation with Tally about parenting, and Tally gave some reinforcement and confirmed that Hiira is not a bad person. Hiira is a good person. Hiira then proceeded to be attracted to the humming of the medallion that she's been carrying around with her for the better part of a few days. And upon touching it, basically the entirety of Merkstead seemed to engulf in flames. Her current friends seemed to become enemies, and she seemed to take on the visage of her former self, the Harbinger, Visenia, cutting down most of them and letting Elodie leave. Regaining your composure as Hiira, you were approached by Mortigan, who had also been pulled into this strange dream state. And when questioned about what you know about your past, he has brought you to the city of Catanok, which is the capital of the Imperium. You are currently inside the body of your much younger self, probably 10 years old, maybe 11 years old, not quite teenager yet. And you decided to steal some food from the market because you're not living very well at the moment. And your body instinctively took you to your home where your father lives. And as you entered in, he is a fiend fallen similar to yourself, although he's got a very sickly look to him. Doesn't look very well at all. Very sort of sweating and hot sweats, all that sort of stuff going on. Laying in bed, coughing as you walk in. Oh, daughter, it's good to see you. What have you been doing today? And let me get up. I'll make us some tea. Oh,
Dad, no, come here, let me help you.
no, I'm okay. And he stumbles a bit. Oh, no.
I see the body under his arm.
Oh, you're a good one. Thank you. And he walks over to the singular basin that you've got and fills a really rusted kettle up with water. And then he walks over to the fire that's sort of like a fire pit in the middle of the hut that you're in with a hole in the ceiling. And he basically puts the kettle on a grate, which begins boiling underneath the fire. Oh, that really took it out of me, that did. How's your day been? I've missed you.
Why don't you sit down and supervise? Because I gotta learn how to do these things.
Yeah. Just be careful not to burn yourself. And he climbs back into bed and pulls the covers up over him. Oh, right. Oh, I'm really tired. Yes, you didn't tell me how your day's been. What have you been up to? You haven't been getting into any trouble, I hope.
No, I've been good. I got a little job out by the docks. Nothing dangerous, just running errands. But they gave me a little so I could get some food.
Oh, that's good. Oh, good. I mean, it's a shame that you have to work so young. I'd rather you be out there playing with some friends and stuff. But, I mean, but also getting work experience is also really good. And you said you bought some food. Do you happen to have it with you?
I got some. And no, they're teaching me. It's helping me like reinforce my lessons and stuff like that, Dad. So it's all good. And my mum, and just go portioning out the food. I kind of want to have like a portion for Dad, a portion for me, and then in little Bess's mind, she can't be with her dad all the time, but there's always the like urchins who can be helpful, and if she, someone that she can pay with for like dried fruit and nuts if she has to help take care of her dad on his bad days, so that she can go out and do things. So she's kind of squirreling away some of that. And then she takes some from her. He's not seeing this. She takes some from her portion and adds it to his, while pretending that she's already eaten an egg a little bit.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, he's taking stuff away from his portion, and he's like, "Give this to the children outside. They need this more than I do. I'm fine on just a little bit. It's okay."
Yeah. He's trying his best. In the end, it's all of the nuts are in one thing, and he is getting most of the fresh meat.
Yeah, and
the fresh.
You cook it between you, and you have yourselves a nice little meal. He doesn't say an awful lot, and he sort of chews on the meat for a bit longer than what you probably should do, but it's like he's trying to savour the flavour for it. Oh, it tastes nice. You hear a little knock on the door. Oh, are we expecting anybody?
Hey, I got it.
And you open the door, and there's about 5 or 6 children stood there who are looking at you, big, bushy-eyed. We could smell food. Is there any for us?
I got some nuts and raisins.
Oh, yes, please.
There's portions some out. I'll let you know if I need anyone to go watch for Dad, and I might be able to find some more, but this is what I've got right now.
Okay, that's fine, thank you. And one of them, sort of the bigger of the children, probably closer to your age, steps forward. She's a female, elven looking, looks you up and down. It's very kind of you to get us this food, Vez. You got to take me on some of these things at some point. I want to work with you as well. You know this person to be Feldra, the future Horseman of Pestilence, currently your best friend.
my God.
Hey, I mean, you got to take me on somebody. I've got to learn. I mean, you know, I've got people I need to look after as well. It'll be nice for us to just think of the fun we can have if we did it together.
Barely, I'm like, at the moment, I'm just scouting routes and what's. It's got to be sustainable at the moment. The patterns are changing. So I
Right.
got to
So,
work it out first.
okay. Well, I mean, surely two eyes are better than one. Two sets of
Yeah.
eyes are better than one. Is that how that phrase goes? I don't know.
Barely, last time you came when the patterns were changing and you got a little carried away. I mean, it was fun, but
Oh, but risky. I know. Okay. Well, once the patterns have been settled, come and get me, and we'll do it together.
yeah, but anything
Handshake.
that, yeah, fine, handshake.
And you just sort of do a sort of really sort of secretive handshake between the two of you. She skips away.
Very, come on. And I'm just going to give her a little extra. That's for the people. That's for you back home, okay?
Okay, thanks. I'll make sure my mum gets this. Also, I will come and check it next time. Next time you do go, please let me know, and I will come and check on your dad. Okay? Because I don't want to worry you, but while you were gone, I heard him fall over when I was walking past. So just, I'll keep an eye on him for you. While I'm not doing the missions with you, I will keep an eye on him for you.
Okay. Bring. I was gonna say they're a baby, but they're like 3. The little ones. Because Dad's still got some books, so if you want to go teach them letters.
Yeah, I'll go do that. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll see you later, Vess. And
okay.
She sort of runs off and catches up with the other children who are walking off. You go back inside. Your father is laying in bed. He's coughing a little bit. He's had this cough for quite a while. He's been ill for quite a while, to be fair, actually. Sort of your memories are beginning to come back, and the entire time Mortigan has just sort of been floating around, giggling away as you're sort of beginning to remember things. And you now remember that your father raised you here, and he worked in the sort of the mining areas of the town, of the city, should I say, before all of the mines were closed. Before all of the mines were closed, because there were no more resources for them to dig out, that's where he worked. And it seems that he's got some sort of poisoning from the gases underneath the city in the mine shafts. But he doesn't look very well at all. He's completely pale, and it's not great. And he just looks at you with a grin on his face. Oh, if only your mother could see you now, she'd be so proud of you.
Just gonna sit next to him and try and warm up my hand a little bit just to help ease the pain.
Oh.
Maybe shift.
Oh, that's warm. Thank you. Oh. And you hear another knock on the door, but this one's louder. And you go and answer the door.
Yeah. So we start swearing and before realizing that she is still Bess and shouldn't be.
Yeah. I mean, you can swear as much as you want, but that's not what comes out of little Vess's mouth. But but Morgan is loving this. And as you open the door, you can see stood there is 3 armed guards and a gentleman wearing black and white robes with a symbol of balance around his neck. This is which sends fear through you, because you know that this is a priest of the Church of Balance in the city, but he's also known as a soul collector. And you've seen this person go into other people's homes throughout parts of the city that you go to, and he goes there when somebody's near the end of their life, and he collects their souls to be used to funnel the rest of the city. Yes? Uh, is
Can I
the
help you?
yes? Is your father home?
Um, are you lost?
No, I am looking for Zorus. Is he here? Who's at the door? Vess?
And they can hear that.
Yeah, they hear that.
Yes, but as you can tell, he's absolutely fine.
Right, please let me in. And the priest walks in. The guards follow in behind as well, and they sort of stand at the door. One of the guards is familiar to Hiira, is Oris, your brother. War Master. But this is him as a guard, just a lowly guard. Family, yay.
All the bad ways.
Yeah. And you can just see Morgan in the corner going, oh, it's getting juicy.
Shut the fuck up.
And the priest walks over to your father and looks him up and down, puts the back of his hand on his forehead. Oh, nope, it's not looking good.
I just made him a little too warm with the blankets, and he's okay. He's popping around all sorts, helping make tea.
Interesting. Well, it seems that whatever it is you're doing is having an effect on him, a good effect, I must say. I tell you what, there is something that you could do, actually. There is some things, some herbs and things that I could use to not heal your father, but I could certainly ease his pain a bit and get him on the road to recovery. Yeah, how does that sound to you?
Insight check.
Yep, you can insight check that.
I don't. You don't trust anybody, especially if they're official.
Yeah.
Insight. Hey, that's not good. It's 9.
Okay. Hiira reads there's something off. Little Vess doesn't. Completely enamored with the idea of there's a way to heal your father. Yes, well, what I need is a list of these, and he hands you a piece of paper that's got a list of herbs and flowers and things. I need you to go down to the docks, and there's a ship there. The ship goes by the name of the Marduk. If you go there, you can find the captain of the ship and the quartermaster, and they will have these herbs in stock. Take this coin, and gives you a pouch. Don't spend any of it on anything else. Use it strictly for these herbs and medicines, and I will be able to make your father better. Does that sound good?
Thank you, mister. He's getting better. I'm not keeping the souls away from their destiny, but he's not there yet. He's good, so and he can still be productive. He's been helping teach the kids so that they can go and be useful. So anything that can help, mister.
Yes.
Thank you.
If you wouldn't mind going off and doing that for me tomorrow, that would be fantastic. We will come back in the evening and we will treat your father. How does that sound?
Thank you.
He sort of chuckles at your little Imperium salute and nods to your father, who nods back to him, and they all leave, just leaving you and your father in the hut on your own. Vess.
Yeah?
Make sure you get up bright and early and go get that job done for the priest. Okay?
Yes, Dad.
Okay. It's very important that you do it. I'm so proud of you.
I'm not going to ask if Vess can, but can Hero insight check her dad?
Hiira can insight check, yeah.
That is a 15.
Your father knows what's coming. Hiira knows what's coming. Little Vess doesn't.
Yeah. Hero would like to cry, but she's just going to let Vess snuggle up next to her dad.
Yeah. Both, it's only one bed, so you've taken to sort of falling asleep in the bed with your dad, under two different blankets. You fall asleep
like a little cat curled up.
Yeah, he has sort of laboured breathing throughout the night. Every now and then you have to wake up to sort of dab the sweat off of his forehead, but little Vess sleeps, but Hiira is awake, and you can just see leaning on the bed with a grin on his face that just tells how evil he is. You just see Morgan. So what's it like to learn you had a daddy?
Well, I assumed I was born from someone.
Well, but, you know, could they still be out there, or could they not? What I'm trying to tell you here, sister, is that you were somebody before you were Hiira. You were somebody before you were the Harbinger. You've always been Vezania. And you just need to accept that. Stop hiding behind some fake name and accept who you are.
The aim was to go and hold you guys off for as long as possible.
It worked for a time, but now we know where you are. And there's now two of us, in the same location. Two of us for little old you. I mean, surely there's other things that require both two horsemen to be in the same place at the same time. Is it just two horsemen, though? Is there more of us here? I don't... Oh, what a mystery. Are there 4 horsemen in your little town of Merkshit, or whatever it's called?
Let's go into your memory. What caused you to be such a...
No, you don't have that power. Remember, you gave up being the Harbinger. Yes, you may have had the power to pull me into whatever the shit show that was before, but now we're in my territory, and I have a little bit more control, especially now that I've been...
Morty, look at where we are. Look at this. How can you ever think that this is right?
That what's right?
Can you think... Don't you ever think that things could be better? Kinder?
What, than this? This is fine, isn't it?
No.
This is life.
Life can be better than this.
Can it? I mean, you either get born with a silver spoon or you get born into this. I mean, is there any other way? How can things be better?
Fucking Merc shit helps people.
Oh, does it?
They don't leave people behind. That they don't...
Tell me more about that. How do they help people? Tell me more.
Can.
How? Tell me.
I'm not going to tell you fucking their day-to-days because you'll use it against them. But have you not thought that you could be a better person than you are? That you could help instead of hurt? Think about what you could do with your flesh sculpting. You could use it to cure diseases, to restore people.
Now,
you could
that
be
sounds
hailed
boring.
you can be hailed as a hero, and that you can bring light to life. It's not about being... There have been inklings where I've thought that you were worth something. Something kind. Something...
That was a long time ago, sister. Long, long time ago. Not now, though. I I like the way that I am now. I don't need
But
to
that's because
heal
you're
people.
fucking old.
I'm old.
And
I
your
mean, that's
brain.
true.
You've got stuck in a fixed growth zone.
You do make me laugh sometimes, Vesania. You know that, don't you? Anyway, should we speed this along, or should we elongate the pain?
Yeah. Just. What's the next one? I know how this ends.
Oh, do you now? You sure?
Back.
Sort of waves his hand a bit, and time speeds up. And little you gets up, kisses your father on the head, mops his brow a bit more. He smiles at you as you go out of the door. Little Felder is outside, and you sort of exchange pleasantries, and she heads inside to take care of your father. And it's sort of like a... Morgan's doing this with his hand, and it's making everything go really quickly, and it's less that you're in little Yu's body, but you're more stood next to him as like a spirit at the minute. And as your body moves around, you head towards the docks. Takes you a good couple of hours to get there, because the dock where the Marduk is docked is almost on the other side of the town. I wonder why. But you head all the way there. You speak to the captain, you speak to the quartermaster, you hand over the coin pouch, you're given the herbs, and you begin making your way down. And that's just as you get to like entering into the street to get back to your hut. That's where Morgan stops turning his finger and puts his hands down, and everything seems to go back to normal speed, and your hero is pulled back into Vesania's little Vessa's body, and you can hear crying. As you begin to approach your hut, you can see the three same armed guards outside. Feldra is on the floor crying, and there are a group of children around her. And as you get closer, you watch as that priest from the day before comes out, and he's just tucking a slight medallion away into his pocket. Right there.
I've got the herbs. I need to go. Where's Dad? Fanny, why are you Dad?
Oh. So the priest steps to one side as you barge in. The guards try to stop you, but you sort of get under them. And as you get into the hut, I mean, it's safe to say that your father is lying lifeless in the bed.
Dad, you have to wake up. Dad.
You move over and begin to shake him, and there's no response. One of the guards, who Hiira knows to be Oris, steps in and says, "I know, you need to move away. We'll have some people coming."
Get off me. He was still good. He shouldn't. What did you do to him? He was still fine.
I'm sorry, but he was too far gone. Something came over him and he got really ill. Please.
He was. He didn't have. He wouldn't have. Look, I know he wasn't well, but not this quickly. What did you do to him?
Unfortunately, that is how life runs in the city. This is the priest outside. All must serve the Emperor, even in the afterlife. Your father will do that. He will bring glory to your family name through his eternal service.
Give him back to me. Give him back.
Please. I know you are upset, but do not get angry, otherwise the guards will have to take you away. The Oris stands up, and he's got a really perplexed look on his face. He looks unsure, but the other two guards sort of step in with their hands on their weapons. You need to calm down, please. She's only 10. Leave her alone. No, or around that age, I think.
He's gonna like to grab the poker and attack the priest.
Grab the poker and then attack the priest. Make me an attack roll with poker.
Attack roll with poker. Look. That's a 16 on the die.
I mean, you hit the priest, definitely. As you slash out with the poker, and it's one of those ones that's got that little hook on the end. The hook catches itself right in the upper part of his temple or his forehead, and you sort of scratch it down across, almost catching his eye, and you hear him scream and wince, and he pulls away. His blood just splatters all over the floor. The kids scream, and as you look and he looks back towards you, you just feel a pain in your head as somebody is just butting you in the head with the sword, and you fall collapse to the floor, blacked out. Mortigan looks at Hiira, who isn't blacked out, but little Vess is like, oh, well, I didn't realise that happened. That was fun. I wondered where he got that scar from. That's really interesting. Well. So Daddy Dearest is dead. You've attacked a priest of light. Now, by law of the Imperium, attacking an official of the Church of Balance normally results in either permanent imprisonment or execution. For some reason, that didn't happen to you, now did it? Clearly. I wonder what happened. And he begins cycling through again, and we come to you sat in a jail cell. Manacled. Manacles far too big for you. You could easily slip out of them, but the reason why you haven't is because they're quite heavy. And a figure walks down and knocks on the cell door. And you can see Iris is stood there. Are you okay?
What? No! I want my dad back. I want everything to be better.
He looks to one of the guards who stood at the door. Open the door. Nods and the door opens and he steps in. He walks over to you and kneels down in front of you. He's probably in his early 20s. Maybe slightly younger. You're not quite sure. His age is sort of masked behind his duty, if that makes sense. He looks older than he is because he's seen some shit.
Look, Vess is like 9 or 10. He's an adult. He's old.
Yeah. So he looks to you. I'm sorry about your father. I have a proposition for you. If I'd rather not see somebody else get taken away because they acted with emotion. We have a training program that's going on at the moment where people are being trained to serve in the military. Would that be something that would interest you? It would save your life.
What's the point?
Honor your father's memory. He was a good man. When he was well and around, he always helped me out when I first started being a guard, and told me where I could find some of the homeless children and all of that when there was trouble and things, and I'd bring some of my rations down to share out when I first started. I got told off for doing it, so I had to stop. But your father was always a beacon of hope within the slums, and I'd hate for his legacy to be snuffed out. I'm trying to save your life here. And Ves, was it?
Vesania.
Vesania. If you'll allow it, I would like for you to join the Imperium army. Maybe we could even work together when you're older.
But you'll be like ancient.
I'm not that old. I've seen some stuff, but I'm not that old.
Would I be able to like help other kids like Dad did and you tried to, I guess?
Yes, that's what we're trying to do. Is, we try to keep the people of the city safe. There's no war or anything to fight at the moment. The mainlanders are doing that themselves. They're keeping away from us, so we keep away from them. We're just trying to keep our own people safe. And
You're doing a great job.
no, that's why we need more caring people in our ranks. You're only young, but trained up in the ways of the Imperium. You're not going to be trained up as a soldier at this age. What I'm offering you is a place in school placement, a place where you'll learn all of the things about the Imperium, what makes us great. You'll learn the best ways to help our people, and then when you come of age, you can join the military ranks and you can make that difference with it on the streets.
And I walk past that stinky priest and he has to cope with the fact that I'm not dead.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I can't wait to see his face when he sees you. Because he is a bit of an arse.
Stinky poop head.
That is a much more appropriate word that I should say in front of a child of your age, yes. You want to come to school? I'm glad you agreed. And he stands up and walks out. Mortigan sort of floats down. Ooh, so this is the start of your journey when you joined the academy and you learn all about... We don't need to go over all of that because that's all boring, but...
We're not going to go through several years of indoctrination together. Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's so terrible. But no, obviously, you're a smart ass. You were able to graduate from the school 2 years before everybody else. They even managed to get Feldra to join the school. Unfortunately, little Felly, as you like to call her, didn't graduate at the same time as you. It took her a whole other 2 years to graduate, and then that's when she went through the process of becoming a horseman because she showed exemplary martial prowess, but she always held it against you that you graduated first and got the seat of death. Probably why she was a bit of an ass towards you, wasn't it?
Is it my fault? I was doing a good thing by giving her tutoring. It's not my fault that she wasn't picking it up initially. She's terrible at sneaking. You think for someone whose life is all about sneaking, that she'd have been better at the beginning, but she's like a horse in a thing that horses don't like being in.
A fire.
No. Also, do you know what a horse is? It's like a goat, but bigger.
I know what a horse is. We're the horsemen. Of course I know what a horse is.
Yes, but you know what? I realise I've never really seen that many horses.
Yes, it's strange that the Emperor gave us the titles of the horsemen, yet we don't have any horses on our island.
I guess it felt like just like more like the metaphysical idea of what we thought a horse is. And actually, it turns out that they are literally just as bitey.
Why am I contemplating this and agreeing with you? You have a way with your words, sister. Even in your weakened state. Right, well,
You're fucking my brain. I'm going to fuck yours right back.
Oh, well. I have one more thing that I'd like to show you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Good. Waves his hand and sort of everything gets sort of clouded in. mist is the word I was looking for. Everything gets clouded in mist, and the mist parts, and you are in a dark and dank room. There are chairs sort of in rows up against the walls going down, but they're not the sort of chairs that you would sit in to take an exam or sit in to. They're almost like barber chairs that have like that recliner feature on them. But these ones have got tubes and wires sticking sort of around and wrapped around them, and you can see a couple of people are attached to some of these chairs, and a purple liquid is being pumped into their bodies. And as you're led in here by Orus, who, it's been a few years now, you graduated the academy at the age of 14. You were instantly put into the army at 14, which is younger than what you should have been. But instead of seeing battle, you were taken on as Orus's sort of squire, as it were, and you were taken to battlefields, but you weren't allowed to participate in fighting and stuff, and he would teach you first-hand tactics. He would teach you battle tactics firsthand, what I'm trying to say. At this point, Orus has sort of soared through the ranks and is now a general within the army. Not quite horseman, he's the one below that. And he leads you in. His appearance has changed as well. He's got sort of purple eyes now. No, he hasn't got purple eyes at this point. No, his eyes are still the same colour because he needs to go through the process as well. He leads you in. Right, Vesania, I have brought you here because we have a special promotion for you. Our Emperor, may his light guide us, has deemed 4 of us, or has granted 4 of us, the title of Horseman. Now, I know you've only briefly learned of what the Horsemen are within the Imperium, but it is one of the highest ranks that you can hold, just below the Emperor himself. There haven't been any Horsemen within the Imperium for 50 years, I think it is. So the fact that they want to re-establish the Horsemen signifies that there is going to be war. Now, he has selected me to be the Horseman of War and has selected me to be the War Master, and he has allowed me to pick who my other Horsemen are going to be. I have selected you to be the Horseman of Death. You have a knack for not just death, because that's not just what the Horseman of Death is about. The Horseman of Death is also about life. And you have that knack about you, your persistence to want to always help people, even through all of the training you have been given, that still comes through. So I think that is the perfect position for you. Now, for the Horseman of Pestilence, we have somebody you may recognize, and in steps a much older Feldra, who has a consistent look of being pissed off on her face. Resting bitch face, that's what they call it. Her hair is really long and sort of plaited and braided and tied up into a high ponytail. But even though it's tied up into a really high ponytail, it still descends down below the bottom of her back. Oh, hello there, Vesania. It's good to see you again. How long's it been? How long since you left me at the school to carry on my own? 4, 3, 2 years? Something like that.
2, Felly. And, they forced me to leave. They said I couldn't keep putting it off.
Felly. You haven't called me that name for a long time. I haven't heard that name for a long time. And then we have Mortigan. I should say, actually, this is Josh speaking, that Feldra is the Horseman of Famine, not Pestilence. I said Pestilence. I got them confused. But yeah, Famine. And then here we have the Horseman of Pestilence, Mortigan. And Spirit Morton goes, oh, here we go. And in steps a elderly man. Well, he looks elderly anyway. He looks very sickly, but he's bald-headed, human, very greyish yellow skin, eyes are yellow, looks around. Oh, yes. Horseman of Pestilence. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I get to perform some really good experiments. What is going on with my voice? I sound absolutely terrible. It's probably why I needed that respirator for as long as I had it.
Okay, so hey, I'm not judging your choices. I mean, fairly makes sense, but are you sure that he can handle it? He doesn't look that.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. We need to undergo a procedure. Okay, this is. It doesn't have a name to it. Some people call it the joining, others call it the awakening. Many things it has been known as in the past, but what it does is looks around. I mean, there are people in here, but they're sort of seeing to other people. These are all experiments that are being done. The procedure to create a horseman is tried and tested. It involves a ritual with an element called aether. Now, you have not been taught about what aether is, but it is it's an element of pure magic. And this ritual pulls your essence and sort of merges it with the aether, which is then put back into your body, and your body is able to awaken in a way that it wouldn't otherwise be able to. Yes, Vizania.
Can I eat it?
I would not suggest it. In normal circumstances, touching aether, pure aether, in this respect, would cause an instant mutation to your body, and you would cease to be who you are and become mindless.
But it looks so edible, and you're saying we're putting it in ourselves.
You're merging it with your essence, is what you're doing, which allows you to stay as who you are. If you want to eat it, you can, but we will have to put you down.
We find a way to make it edible. I'm sure we can. Our nation's full of really smart people.
I love your naivety, but no, that is not the way.
I just want to eat it. I'm hungry all the time.
I know, but anyway, let's get this procedure underway. Please follow me. And he leads the four of you, the three of you, plus himself, to a room at the end of the corridor. And it's at this point that Spirit Mortigan sort of speeds things along a bit more. It's like, yeah, it's in this, done that, been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
We're old and boring and not fun.
Old, boring, not fun. And you all step inside the strange containers that shut down around you, and you watch as a man pushes a button, and this mist is pumped into the sort of cell that you're in. You've been tied down into it, into a seat area, and your bodies begin to convulge and shake as the aether begins to infect your body. And you watch from outside, because Hiira is watching from the outside, stood next to Mortigan, but you can feel all of the pain that Vizania is feeling. You can watch as Vizania's fingers begin to elongate and grow, and nails begin to pierce out, sort of pop out, and new ones begin to grow. You watch as wings begin to sprout out of her back and then pull back into her. Her tail elongates out, spins round, and then falls off. Your body morphs and changes, and you mutate in a million different ways before this light sort of begins to shine on your chest. When you were put into this container, a medallion, or the medallions you've seen, was placed onto your chest, and all of this mist is pulled into it with a light, And as Visania opens her eyes, you can see that her eyes are completely purple, which was something you hadn't noticed before. You thought your eyes had always been purple, but now that you're seeing them as if for the first time, your eyes weren't always purple. They were a different color. What color were they? Were they?
As the mutations are happening, just looking at little, she's still little, older but little. And as Vess opens her eyes, you can see, is it blue? Just disappearing. There is the same blue that her dad had. She remembers now. They're gone now.
Gone now, completely filled with this purple ether eyes. And Mortigan, look, and I mean, we don't need to go over anything else in your history because you remember everything else. The wars that you fought on, the people you slayed, even your own people. For a time, the old Vesania, the little Vesania that we saw in the slums disappeared, and the Harbinger was born. But then something happened. You began to question the Emperor. You begun to question all of us. And this light began to come out. And it wasn't until you were sent to Halbeck where you met those crag shields, whatever that catfolk person's name was. That's when things became different. That's when you decided the Imperium's not for me anymore. That's when you left. That's when you left us.
You left.
What?
You left me first. Because these people who walked into this room are not the same people from our last meeting together. When did you go from being an old quirky man thinking about science into this grease pit, craven and full of, honestly, just really bad, kind of like an incel dude, just like way too close, like 3 steps back.
There's a difference between you and me. There's a difference between myself and the other horsemen. You all were different people before you were infused, and you became different people when you came out. I have always been this way. It's just the infusion amplified me and made me...
But hiding it. You were better, for that brief 6.5 minutes, you were vaguely socially. But Felly became bitter and twisted and sadistic. I was a person who was... I mean, he thought of victory, but not conquest. Not of anything, not to his own people. You just heard him tell me that I was picked for my thoughts on life and not just death. We wanted something. All of us. Maybe even you once.
I got exactly what I wanted. I got to experiment to my heart's content. I got to create...
You're just a poor-interested person who's not even involved in this conversation. So, but the rest of us, then. You essentially... Here's the thing. You're meaningless.
Definitely not.
No, if you are not better, if you have no hope in redemption or trying or any kind of effort, then what's the point of you? You will be there, the third bit villain in someone else's backstory. And then you'll be crushed. You might come back. You'll do it again. You get vanquished again, over and over, on repeat until any life is boring and meaningless like you.
See, that's the difference between us, sister, is you're looking to redeem yourself, make yourself better, be this glorious bastion for our people and for your friends in Merkstead. Whereas me, I know that I'm worthless. I know that I can't do anything to redeem myself. Even if I wanted to, I can't. But what I can do is I can put more power into the Imperium's hands. I can make it so future generations of people on this main continent fear the Imperium, fear our Emperor, fear what we can do.
Right.
I can implement those things.
What is the point if there are no people left in the Imperium? Because that's what we're doing. We are consuming our own. I know I'm trash. Whether from the... You don't put a kid... You don't put a kid into that kind of system and go, hey, yeah, you're 14 and you're really good at killing people. You're really good at thinking about logistics of warfare, rather than, maybe you're a little young for this. You don't do that unless there's something wrong about that child. I know I'm not good. But even I can do better. Not good, but better. So can others. The people... I don't want to be a bastion of light. I don't suppose that I'm going to last long enough for that. But we're not consuming our own. You want to put more power into the concept of the Imperium? I fucking love my country. I will give everything for my country. But the country is not just some amorphous political entity. It's the people within it.
That's where we come to our choice then, isn't it? Reason why I was pulled into here must have been because the amulet sensed that you had a lust for power again. Whether your lust for power was how you were previously or for some noble cause, but it pulled me here as well, which means that deep down there is still a level of conflict within you. Now, you have two options, sister. I know which one I'd take, but I can't influence you in this way whatsoever. In the one hand, and he reveals a medallion that's completely full of purple. In one hand, we have Visania, the Harbinger. You could easily assume this mantle again. Rejoin my side. Rejoin your emperor. Fight for your Imperium and save your people. Might not be in the way that you intend, but you will be saving them. Or there's this one, and he reveals another medallion, but this time it's got pure pink energy in it. We have this Hiira Castillo, who is a refugee, an outcast, a street rat, a parent to a parentless child, and making friends and not really making much of a difference in the world as a whole. Very weak and scrawny and pathetic. Which one do you want to be?
Yeah,
He hands both of them to you. I will let you make your choice.
The difference between you and me? Just stuck in thinking about binary choices. I want to class them both together. I'm going to choose both.
Make me. I was hoping you'd do that. Make me an arcana. Make me, not an arcana. And wisdom saving throw, please.
Am I going to pick a dice?
None of these dice fit. You know what? I'm going to choose one. This is what the new dice are for.
Prismatic. It is an explosion of prismatic energy.
This is what the new dice are for, because none of the others are beautiful, but they do not fit this moment. All of you, get out the way. I don't want anything bouncing. Guys, I have too many dice in my tray, which is a problem when I want dramatic rolls. I can count. That is a 22.
22. As you smash these two medallions together, there's just an explosion of pink and purple magics, and it's almost like an orb has sort of exploded around you. Mortigan takes a step back so he doesn't get caught in it, but you watch as like this pink and purple electricity are just sort of fighting around you within this orb, and you can see stood next to you your older self, your Harbinger form stood on the side of the purple medallion, the evil intent on her eyes, the darkened, gnarly, horrible Imperium armor. And on the other side, you can see small little Ves, who is probably the closest representation to Hiira that there is. Innocent, always looking out for others. And they both, older Vesania, the Harbinger, I'll say the Harbinger, just to split them different. The Harbinger has her hand on your shoulder, but little Ves is holding your hand tightly. And you watch as the energies are pushing against each other, and Mortigan is furiously trying to look in. I was not expecting this decision, sis. This could kill you. Or you could become something stronger. I'm definitely looking forward to this, but I'm also very, very concerned that this isn't going to go the way I wanted it to. Give in to the power.
You're a terrible scientist, and you don't consider all the variables.
Give in to the power, sister.
No. Okay, maybe I was hiding under a name. Hey, I've met people who have middle names. I can have both of them. I am Visenya. I am the Harbinger of Death. I am an ex-horseman because I decided to be. I am a devoted citizen of the Imperium, a champion for my people, an unrelenting mother to my child. Mine. Friends with... Honestly, they're idiots, but they have more potential in them than you do in you. I am what I was, what I am, and what I can grow to be, because I have a growth mindset. I was reading a book. It was all about brains.
And he just roars in anger at this. You weakling. Could have given you all of the power you wanted. And he's going to try to fire electricity, green, mutated, sickly electricity at you. And as it does, and as your speech resonates across this void that you're both stood in, you watch as this brilliant bright light shines, and in front of you, stood catching the lightning, is a female figure, long flowing blonde hair, white dress flowing down to the floor, a look of nothing on her face. She looks completely unfazed by the fact that this sickly green electricity is being thrown at her, and she just shoots it up to the sky, looks towards you, and you can see she is almost angelic in features. And as she turns back, she just says to Mortigan, I think you've overstayed your welcome here. I believe my champion needs some time alone. And she flicks, and he just no disappears. And she turns round and faces you. Well, your speech was quite inspiring, I have to say. Now, there is one thing that I have to disagree with you on. You said that you weren't a light bringer. Do you believe that? Do you truly believe that?
Try to carry the torch. Don't know if the torch is me or... I don't think so. But I'll try. I'll carry it wherever I can go.
She waves her hand, and you watch as appearing next to her is a small little cat girl, completely made of light, so she's not actually there. What do you think you are to her?
Strange lady who showed up the day her parents died. Trauma bonded.
I mean, that's true. What do you think you've become to her?
She's my kid. I'm her parent.
And she knows that. She loves you for it. You bring light to her wherever you go. Even if you're not with her, she knows that your light will always shine. And you watch as this figure, quite large figure, extends her hands around this orb that's sort of encompassing you at the moment. The two versions of yourself, two other versions of yourself, the Harbinger and Little Vess, are holding your hand. And this large figure just pushes down on this orb, and it begins to retract itself into her hands as she's sort of pulling the energy from the two medallions into her hand. And she's holding it like a sphere. The pinks and purples are fighting against each other. And the two figures are stood next to you, just look at you. And Little Vess looks up and she goes, "You got to do it for Dad." Now, I heard you when you said this is the big, large figure who is very clearly Ethia, the Lightbringer. She steps up to you and she's in, she doesn't know what personal space is. She's right up in your grill, but she's holding this orb in her hand. Now, I heard you before, a long time ago now, when you asked for redemption. You asked to be better. And I granted you some power. You made an oath to me, an oath of redemption. I fully understand that the temptations of your home, the power that you once wielded, fully understand that. But the fact that you have, and she holds the orb up, made this choice, this interesting and fun choice, as your brother put it. Brother wasn't really your brother, was he? He was just somebody you were bonded to for life because of an incident that you were forced into.
I feel that's a good explanation of brothers from what people have said.
No, I hadn't thought about it like that. So whenever people refer to the Guardians as siblings, I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. Or married. That's the other choice.
I've not yet experienced that. But anyway, we're digressing from the conversation.
Yeah, because I'm trying to avoid it. But yeah, go on.
She extends her hand outwards and twists, and this pink and purple energy sort of merges into one stream of multicolored pink and purples. Like there's a very sort of prismatic feel to it. I'm bringing the dice in, and she pushes it together and condenses it right down and sort of claps her hand, and you watch as a little explosion happens. As that happens, both Little Vess and the Harbinger pull into your body and disappear. And she holds out a brand new medallion. This one is not a 7-pointed star. It is instead a what's the shape? Hang on, I'm trying to think. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided shape. What's that called?
Pentagon.
Pentagon. There we go. Thank you. So it's a pentagon shape, and on it has a picture of a unicorn. She hands that to you. Open that for me. You open it and you can see there's 2 little orbs on either side of it. One's pink, one's purple, and they're both swirling around in there. This represents who you are. You are Vezania. You are Hiira. Whichever name you choose to take is completely up to you. I'm not going to tell you either way. This journey that you have been on, as twisted as it was of Mortigan to do this, it was a journey of acceptance. Something that you needed, something you were lacking. I could see that through being able to see you as my champion. Or soon to be champion anyway. Stick on the path you're on. There are troubling times ahead.
It was so tempting at one point to think, if I go back, I could be in a position of power to try and protect the rest of the group. If I go back, then I could take Sunny as my apprentice and she would be untouchable, bar my siblings, and I could take the pain for her. But then, what choice am I making for those people? It's not one they would want.
No, but I think you saw what would happen if you'd chosen to take the power.
They'd fight me on it, they'd die for it, and I'm not stood. Sunny, at best, is locked up somewhere, unable to be free, forced on the life I chose her while everyone around her burns again. And I continue to do it to everybody else.
But you've chosen to break that cycle. You've chosen to be a parent, a protector, a light bringer. Now, she sort of places her hand on the medallion that you're holding, and then she places it right up against your chest, and you watch as the magical energies from it, sort of pinks and purples, encompass your entire body. It's at this point, Vezania, or Hiira, depending on which name you choose to go with, you can change your appearance to however you'd like. Your physical appearance, your armor and all that will stay the same, but how you now look is different. And I think it would be interesting. I mean, if you have an idea of how you would look now, then please go for it. But if not, we could always leave that to a more detailed description when we come back to the next group game. It's up to you.
I'll think about it.
That's cool.
The one change I know that has happened is that the eyes are still purple around the iris, like the edges, right in the middle, around the pupil. They're a soft, calm blue.
Yeah, I like that. A little bit of pink in there as well. A good measure, sort of reflecting who you are. The blue representing Vezania, Little Vess. The purple representing the Harbinger, and the pink representing Hiira, who you are now. And I think with that, as the Lightbringer leans in and gives you a gentle kiss on the forehead, go bring light wherever you go. And don't worry about Sunny. She'll be protected wherever she is. Don't you worry about that. I'll see you soon.
Cool, because I will fight a guardian if I have to.
I don't doubt it. And she gives you a kiss on the head, and you wake up lying in your bed in a cold sweat. The medallion gone, but you can tell by looking around that no time has passed, basically. The moment you touch that medallion, you passed out. Again, you can take some time to think about how you now look. You are able to gather all of your weapons, gear, and all of that sort of stuff from various places that you need to get it from. And we are going to end the session, unless there's anything else you want to do.
One teeny tiny scene.
Yep, that's cool.
Again, go before we leave. Go and find Tally.
Yep.
Again, his Lily's room, and just go. So, Tally.
Hiira, you look different. You okay?
So my name's Visenya.
Visenya.
I need to tell you everything. And that's why I'd like to end it.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to end the session. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We have been Roll Together RPG. If you'd like what you see, you can join us for more of these story-driven games on Mondays and Tuesdays from 6 p.m. UK time. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters, and a massive, massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. You can join them from as little as $1 of your local currency per month, or 1 goat, which must be sent to Tom. Tom needs more than 1 goat because goats must be paired together. By following the links in chat and in the description below. Speaking of the description below, if you are watching us on YouTube, please do consider leaving us a like, subscribing to the channel, and commenting down below. It helps the algorithm let us know what you like so we know what to make more of. And with that, we are going to go. See you later. Goodbye.